Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Print Day 2024. A pleasure to be with you for this first presentation. My name is Pierre Saint-Michel. I'm the CEO, General Manager of Print France, and so I will be doing the moderation this morning. Just to get started, we will do the presentation and have a session of and answers after the presentation, and I'll pass along the microphone so that we can record the questions. If you want to do some posting on LinkedIn, hashtag Print Day, don't hesitate to do this. It'll be our pleasure to read you online and comment anything that you post during the day. Today with us is Mr. Stéphane, who is a customer of ours in France for a good 8 years. As Stéphane will explain, they have at Saint-Gobain a very unique, truly global system put in place, and Stéphane, I think, will give us some valuable and quite interesting information. So, Stéphane, all yours. We'll try to do this a little bit interactive. So,
Yes.
Working.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome for the Saint-Gobain experience for print. Sorry if my English is not very fluent because it's quite difficult for me. It's the first time I do this kind of job. But let's go. So I am Stéphane. Long time ago, I was working in a graphic company, and I joined Saint-Gobain in 2017 for the print project. Okay, for me, the PIM before was something like an acronym, but it was very not. It's not. I have no knowledge about the PIM. So I had to understand what is very important in this kind of technology between PIM and print. Okay, so I am based in Paris, in the La Défense. I don't know if someone goes in La Défense. We have a beautiful tower in La Défense. So Saint-Gobain at a glance. This is just a quick overview. We will talk about product management and the global solution we implement in Saint-Gobain for the print, and what we learn about this new approach with the print and with this automatization of document. So before moving forward, I have one of my colleagues who is here. I give him the no, okay. So in Saint-Gobain, we have different. How can I say? Yes, business unit and the IT. I am in the IT division. And in the IT division, we support all our customers around the world on different topics. Print is mine, but we have the company's international digital technology, and we have all of this kind of approach for facilitating the IT for all our customers around the world. So we can talk about CRM, PIM, print, DAM, and so on. So much things are involved in the IDS BU in Saint-Gobain.
A little question for me, Stéphane. You talk about customers.
Yeah.
Who are these customers? The end customers of Saint-Gobain or the brands?
It's the brands. In fact, we have 60, 70 brands in Saint-Gobain. And for the print, we work mainly for 5 brands. Maybe you know Placo, Isover, Weber, Pont-à-Mousson, PAM. And for the print, this is the most, this is the customer we are working on for the print. So I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes,
but yes.
That's a little bit clearer.
But it's internal customer, in fact, in Saint-Gobain.
So there's room to grow.
Yeah.
55 more customers. Brands.
Exactly, exactly. Just some figure about Saint-Gobain, founded in 350 years ago, so it's a very old company. We are located in 76 countries. We have 160,000
employees. It's okay.
Employees in Saint-Gobain, and we have around 900 plants and 2,700 sales outlets. This is some
general numbers.
General number, but the financial, just for you to have a view of the Saint-Gobain financial, but it's a little bit boring, but
just numbers.
Yeah.
But
so we have a range of solutions for housing and construction market, because this is the main activity of Saint-Gobain, facade, floor, partition, flooring, etc., etc. This is mainly what you see here on this drawing. Okay, so let's talk about product data management. So today, we worked before with PIM Riverson, which is Saint-Gobain today, is a changed name, but we are moving through. We are moving to a new stable system PIM since 1 year. So we are in the phase of data migration. So of course we are working with Print Suite. When I said Print Suite, it's the full Print Suite technology. We have InDesign server. We have a InDesign desktop with a plugin. So we generate around between 8 and 10,000 pages a month for Saint-Gobain, for all these brands I mentioned before. So we had many challenges before starting this project in Saint-Gobain, because you have to understand what is the data model of each brand, because each brand in a PIM has its own data model. So if you want to build a product data sheet with some article table with a lot of data, specific data for plasterboard, insulation, and so on, before doing something, you need to understand the data model. So this is the first thing. We have many languages, so sometimes it's not easy, because if you have I don't speak German, sorry, but if you have some trouble with language, you need to talk with your customer, and etc. We have different ways of working. Many countries did their own PIM print before they had their own PIM. For example, I forgot the name of the PIM, but Akeneo, for example, they do some CRM. Sometimes they was working with their own CRM, etc. Okay, so the adventure started in 2015. We had a dam implemented inside Riverson before, separate dam from the PIM, but today with Thibault we have the PIM is including inside the Thibault PIM. We can think it's using what not to do using the core market as default project ring. Initially, at the beginning of the project, we tried to set up the print, the PIM and the print through a country and a brand, Weber France. So it was a mistake because the data model of the France was relevant for the France, but it was not like a core model data model. It means if you take the France as if you take the France as can I say
as the default system, maybe I can help with this because I was involved in this indeed. Accenture decided to use Weber France as the base system to replicate all across the world. Very soon, we had meetings with Horst, Thomas, my colleague, myself, and a bunch of people at Saint-Gobain, and we found out that it was impossible to replicate Weber France to all the countries. And so we came up with the idea of coming up with a project zero, a core project, a default project, which is not built on top of any country. It is the core project on which we've been working on for the last 6-7 years. Of course, it was a lot of work to get started, and then the core project can be adapted easily to each of the countries. We have large countries, our friends in Germany. This is an example. Some large markets. We have some smaller markets for Saint-Gobain, and therefore the core project made it much simpler to replicate and apply it to each of those countries, regardless of the size of the country. Instead of trying to take a French or a German or an American project and make it apply to all over the world. That failed. So that was a big learning at the beginning.
Thank you, Pierre. You helped me a lot. Okay, so why we implement a core model? So you talk a little bit about, so I will go fast for that. Yes, we built the print. We build the print. We build the PIM for the print and not the print for the PIM. For example, in Saint-Gobain, we have multiple product data sheet with some table for article and so on. So it was difficult for to build a specific table, a specific placeholder for each table. So we decide to implement an attribute in the PIM, including this kind of table, article table. And every country, every brand has to use this kind of attribute to be able to display an article table with some technical information. It was easy to build this project to reduce the cost as well, because if you have to build some placeholder for one placeholder for every country, every brand, it's of course it reduces the cost. So it can fit for all subsidiaries. So this is mainly what I said before.
Yes. So right now, whenever you have customers, brands asking for new stuff in print,
Yeah.
Weber France or whoever, or our German colleagues sitting here, if they have a specific request, how do you deal with that? Do you build it specific for Germany, or do you
No.
build it in the core?
No, we build only for the core. And if there is no core, we don't do any specificity for one country.
So you end up saying no to
Yes.
some countries,
Yes, exactly.
to some requirements.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's the difficulty, but that's also the only way to manage a true global project present in 60-some countries. Every country is different, and every country is special, and every country does it its own way, and they want to do it always to their own taste. And if you want to do a true global project, it's quite difficult, if not impossible. So, you know, that's a little bit what we're trying to explain here. There are pros, there are cons, advantages and disadvantages, but definitely the big benefit is being able to generate a global print project quickly and cheaply.
So this is what looks like the organization before. Each country has its own PIM, DAM, and generate print with agency or graphic designer. And this is what we have today. So centralization of the PIM and the print and the PIM and the DAM for all the country. Sometimes you have some extra country like Netherlands, they have Akeneo, so they manage by themselves the print. And Pierre, you have an example of Akeneo in Netherlands.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to talk two words
Oh,
about
yeah, we can. It is a business unit called Securit. They do car materials, equipment, windshield and everything. And yeah, they have their own PIM. Maybe one day they join the central.
I'm not sure, but
yeah, exactly. So right now the Dutch want to do it themselves, so they're country number 2, and they do it on their own in Akeneo, and that's fine. And we're talking with them right now to automate their print catalogs, also in 14 different languages, but rather simple requirements. So that's an exception, and those will happen. And if those countries want to be separate and do it themselves, well, that's fine. You know, it's their cost. They can do that.
Okay, this is an overview of the infrastructure.
So let me explain in detail. No.
So I think I'm not able because my colleague gave me this kind, but you see, it's we have a lot of cybersecurity in Saint-Gobain. So we have DMZ, we have Agnet, etc.
Saint-Gobain was I don't think it's confidential. It was in public. Saint-Gobain was badly attacked 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
2017.
It was a massive attack. We were on site that day. Thomas was on site, and all of a sudden computers started shutting down everywhere. The government, the police, the IT, some buildings lost 100% of their PCs. 100%. It was massive. It made the news, and of course, Saint-Gobain implemented extreme security around their whole system, including Print Suite, where we're running in a very isolated area in the cloud, but very isolated, and it was, massive for Saint-Gobain. So fortunately, this happens all over over the world, still today, of course, and that was one of the pain factors a few years ago.
Okay, few words about learning and benefits for a project. We already talked about this thing, but the core team has to say no if there is no if it's no core placeholder, for example. So the PIM data has to be based on the specification of the print and not the reverse.
I guess like every print project, the big challenge is data.
Yes.
Always finding complete product data. So that's globally our challenge everywhere, and that Saint-Gobain was no exception. You know, we started working with them, and we had no test data, no product data, and of course that changed over the years, but that is always one of our main challenges in the project. Yeah, we've already talked about the specific needs of each of the countries, so we try to, you know, obviously Stéphane will accept a request if it is able to be implemented in the core project, and if it makes sense for the bulk of the companies. So if a new request happens, and that happens a lot,
sometimes, yes.
Yeah. Not enough for me because, you know, it's just a question of services that we sell to Saint-Gobain. But indeed, there's always new changes requests. So the core model is not a set series of placeholders and automation. It is something that is living throughout the months, the years, and whenever the countries change, Stéphane will accept those changes if they can be applied to all countries. If they are only one specific, as we said, if they're only specific to one country, then no.
Yes, exactly. So we...
Maybe it sounds like the core is very strict, but as you mentioned before, the attributes that are used in the PIM, the complex attributes make it quite flexible anyway. So, I mean, the complex attributes in the PIM, they are set to the core, but in these complex attributes, we can do whatever we want, every brand and every country.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
it's not only five countries, and in the countries it's a different. Like I mean, Isover in France is doing it different than Isover in Germany, etc. So we are in these complex attributes very flexible in the usage. So just to you know.
You're right. Thank you, Dorothée.
Thank you.
So some example of catalog in this example, it's Weber Italy. So we build the template in 5 days. We manage this project for 5 days, and we generate a catalog for Weber Italy yes, it's around 120 pages, 100% automatic.
So excuse me, Stéphane, so preparing the templates, is that done by the countries or is that done by your team centrally?
It's on my team. Yes.
It's on your team.
The template is on my team.
Okay.
Of course, the data has to be there in the PIM, the image, pictogram, etc. So today we have around 10 placeholders to manage this kind of publication for picture, picto, table, and so on. And we have, because this is how-to ciclo applicativo, what you see here is a how-to. I put the Weber color basic. This is some, I don't know, some mortar or something like that. This is a specific table, and in Saint-Gobain the how-to application is used by many countries and many brands. So we decided to create a specific attribute for that. Here we have other brand, PAM Building. We have Insulation. It's the product data sheet for Isover Germany. And Rigips product data sheet with a technical table. And of course, this technical table is set in the PIM with a lot of attributes, and you can manage the number of the column, a lot of information. And this kind of product data sheet is fully automatic. And in the PIM, we created a button, okay, we use the InDesign server to create this kind of product data sheet. So in conclusion, thinking core for a global project is very important to be able to keep in mind, okay, so the PIM has to go inside the print and not the reverse. Of course, the data model can be complex, but if you have a big overview of your customer and what they want to display in the product data sheet, you are able to create the specific placeholder for that. This is the easy way and the much faster way to manage a big print project in Saint-Gobain.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Any questions for Stéphane? Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, hi. It sounds like the core project is brand agnostic. How do you manage like brand specific assets, logos, marketing, other brand marks that have to go into the various templates? Are you doing that through the Stibo DAM as well? Is that all connected to the core, or is that separate?
For the asset, we have only one placeholder, but we have a lot inside this placeholder. We have a lot of filter saying, okay, this picto is for this category. Okay, for example, in the template, you have a category picto. I don't know. One category picto. In the PIM, for example, you have for Weber Italy, they have a lot of picto for how to use this kind of material for the floor, for the ceiling, etc., etc. So in the template, we put, for example, you have maximum 5 picto. So we decide to put an index in the placeholder to say, okay, you have 30 pictos in the DAM, but I want only 5 on my template. Okay, so I set the category inside my placeholder, and I set an index. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get only 5 picto maximum in my document. And this is the same for the picture. We have a lot of filter like usage or what else? We have 5, if I remember, we have 5 filter inside the placeholder to set the image.
So all these images and pictos and everything are all referenced in the DAM?
Yes, of course.
And you decide which one are going to be used?
No, the customer decide.
Okay.
The customer decide.
Okay.
They have some checkbox, and I want that. That's it.
We have one more question.
So you go for the print suite. What was the reason that you go for the print suite and not for the Stibo Step publishing tools?
Because we're
better.
because we had print suite before with Riversand.
Yeah.
I begin in 2017, so they decide to use print suite before I'm coming in Saint-Gobain. And we had the question, do we need to change? But to be honest, the Stibo Step print automatization, I don't know exactly if it works like this. And because we had some history about the placeholder, the data model, etc. It was more simple to stay with print, to be able to manage the publication.
And we're nicer guys. People like us, and we have great technology. So, but seriously, yeah, indeed, the investment was done. The core logic was done. So there was some effort in migrating all that, but it was done with our team, Thomas and our team in Germany, even some of our team in the US helped at the beginning of this. And yeah, we're quite happy, and the customer, Saint-Gobain, is quite happy now with everything running. They were able to recoup 95% of everything we had. You know, we had maybe just 5% to change and update, so it was very quick to get started. Any more questions?
Thank you. You mentioned that you would manage different brands inside Saint-Gobain. My question is, the brands share the same data model in terms of PIM, or do you have different instances that manage the different brands?
For the print, yes. For the print, yes. What I explained, the attribute in the PIM was based on the print. So, of course, they are doing some website. Okay, so the attribute can be different for website and print. But all the brand enter into the attribute specific for the print in the PIM. So, yes, it is... All the brands are the same attribute, and if tomorrow a new brand is coming with Thibaut and has some different kind of requests for a specific table and so on, we will try to do that with what we have today, okay, because it's core. And if it's really specific, we had an experience with Thomas with another brand, Abrasive, in US, and they had some very specific table with some pixel inside the header of the table. So so we decided, because all the catalog of Abrasive was with this kind of table, so we decided to create a new placeholder for them. But it is really specific, and I try to not do that because it's not core for me.
Sorry. In PIM, the data model in general is different. It's for the print that it's the same. Yeah. So.
Exact.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yes, yes, yes.
Thanks. Are you also planning to create some legal documents like CE declaration or declaration of performance stuff, or?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Legal documents, yes,
Yes.
like the CE marking.
If you have data in PIM, you can do what you want. Huh? You can do etiquette, you can do sticker, you can do packaging. I did some packaging for Weber Belgium, but you know, in the packaging it's difficult because they have a lot of size. So each size means one size, one template. And the main challenge in the print is to you have to build one template without any static text. When I said static text, it means you need to have all your placeholder for all the language you manage in the document. If you build one template for 10 language, you have only one template to do. But the packaging is different because you have one size, one template. Even if you can manage, of course, multiple language with packaging.
But again, for Saint-Gobain,
if you have data in PIM, you can do what you want, in fact.
It's customer driven. It depends on their customers, on their brands, what they want to do. Maybe one last question, because we're at the end of our session. Or maybe no more questions. Okay, well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Stéphane, merci beaucoup.